Compassion is the most underrated business strategy. It's what separates those who make money and those who lead movements. I'm gonna need some coffee for this one. It's easy to forget that your business does not exist for you. Even though you benefit from it, its purpose is not to serve you. Its purpose is to serve people. The online space will tell you to have a heart for money, for growth, accolades, but businesses that scale have a heart set on people. At some point in time, you likely have had a vision board full of your dream home, dream car, vacations, dollar bills, maybe even jet planes. That was your guiding light. It was the thing your business existed, it breathed for, it lived for. And maybe even your business became this vehicle through which you could leverage the law of attraction in order to create everything your heart desires. And that led you down a path to build a business for you instead of build a business for people. And if we're getting honest, that's what many of us have done, myself included. I wouldn't have said I don't care about people. But when I get honest, when I tell the truth, I started my business to fund my lifestyle. And that's okay for a season. It may work for a season, but eventually we have to think bigger than that. We have to build bigger than that. Because I'm not here on this planet for me. I'm not here on this planet to just receive all of the things I could possibly ever desire. I'm here to contribute. I'm here to be obedient to the assignment on my life. And my business gets to be a part of that. You were taught to build your business for you, for the life that it could give you. But at some point, whether on paper or in your heart, it stopped working. It no longer felt like enough. And the reason for that is because a business does not exist for the founder. It exists to contribute to the marketplace. And this is the mark of a business that scales. It's realizing that at some point, you have to want to give more than you want to receive. At some point, your business has to become a vehicle for contribution, not just for receiving, not just for manifesting what you dream of and what you desire, although those are byproducts. That is not the guiding light. A business that scales is genuinely interested in people. It has genuine care for people, and it is obsessed with bringing value to the marketplace. That is a business that sustains, that keeps its doors open, and that grows into something far bigger than you could ever imagine. It grows far bigger than just you. That's where you actually start to build something that you can call a movement that's really contributing meaningful value to people's lives. So the way that the online space taught you to build your business actually works in direct opposition to this truth. It tells you to, you do you, boo. Go follow your passions, chase your dreams, make it all about you. If I see another video with dollar bills flying around on my Instagram feed, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I don't say that in judgment. I truly don't, because I was a part of that movement. I was a part of the boss babe era. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be powerful, self-made, strong. That's my mission. And I called it making an impact. I said I was building my legacy. I thought in my heart I was doing the Lord's work. Like we were really going for it. And then I had to humble myself, and I had to stop fixating so much on my dreams and passions, because although my business is a vehicle for those things, of course, the innate desires, passions, and dreams that you have that are true to you, that aren't someone else's, but true to you, there's going to be a way likely that your business encompasses those, it uses those. You have gifts and abilities for a reason. But when your business becomes all about manifesting your desires, when that becomes the mission, you immediately set a floor for yourself that you can't break through, because businesses by nature don't exist for you. They exist for other people. They exist for your buyers. Your business at the end of the day doesn't care about entertaining you. It cares about satisfying the needs of the market. Let's look at the definition of business. If you've watched my YouTube videos up until this point, you're likely tired of the definitions, but just strap in because we're going to keep bringing them to the table, because you know what? Actually looking at what something means starts to reorient your perspective. It starts to reset things. It starts to put things back in proper order, where we have bought into lies, where we've been deceived, where we've gotten a little bit lost. When we go back to what things mean, when we go back to truth, you have to start looking at things a little bit differently. And it's one of the reasons why I come back to definitions all the time. A business is any organized enterprise or entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities. This is where I want you to pay attention. Its purpose is to produce, buy, or sell products and services to satisfy market needs and generate a profit. So a business exists for two specific purposes: to satisfy the needs of the market and to generate a profit. Now, I want to highlight the word profit. Notice that I didn't say revenue. I didn't say even salary. I said profit. And you know what profit does? Profit is often leveraged as a tool to pour back into the business. That's how you pay your people, your employees, contractors, interns. That's what you use to invest in better systems. You use that to perfect your product and your service. You use that to create cash reserves for seasonal fluctuations. You use that to reach more people. Ultimately, even the profit itself has a purpose. It pours back into the entity. It pours back into the business so that it can honor the larger mission, which is always going to be directly connected to satisfying the needs of the market. That's the process. That's the flow. That is what a business entity exists for. And if this is true, if businesses exist to satisfy the needs of the market, then compassion is truly one of the most underrated business strategies. So let's look at what is compassion and why am I harping on this? Compassion is the sympathetic awareness of another's suffering combined with a genuine desire to alleviate it. It bridges emotional understanding and actionable kindness. So compassion requires 3 specific steps. Number 1, it notices the distress of your people. Number 2, it feels empathy for those people. And number 3, it takes action to help. Now, I am not talking about empathy. Empathy and compassion, although closely connected, are by nature different. And I'm going to explain why that is. I'm talking about compassion, which by nature has action tied to it. Many people in the online business space show empathy, but few actually express compassion. Empathy looks like taking on the feelings of another person. You're feeling what they feel, you're in it with them. How many times have you seen that in the online space? Maybe you've even said that before, I'm in this with you. It's a beautiful sentiment. But as business owners, I would say even as human beings, but as business owners, we want to go beyond feeling it with them. We want to lean into compassion, which says that you recognize their pain, but you also are here to take action to help them, to alleviate that pain. Your product and your service should be the vehicle to make that happen. What I see a lot of in the online space is misguided empathy. Empathy that lacks discernment. That might sound like, oh, I know, clients are just the worst. The algorithm hates me. AI is taking over all of our jobs. Nobody's buying right now. Essentially, people gather around a pain point, a wound that they have, instead of gathering around a solution. We reinforce each other's frustration, and the fruit of this, unfortunately, almost always becomes venting, complaining, and even gossiping. And the ironic thing is this creates a sense of belonging. People will rally right next to you in comments where we're just complaining about how the algorithm sucks. Clients just don't get it. You've seen it before. Maybe you've even been a part of it before. But at the end of the day, we're creating this sense of belonging, and we aren't growing together in that space. We're just hurting together. We're just sitting in our frustration. We're just sitting in our disappointment, and it doesn't do anything. Empathy without discernment, empathy that is misguided, will say, I feel your pain, and I'm going to stay in this with you. And without realizing it, many people are marketing their business that way. And although people will rally with you for a vulnerable post where you're complaining about something, you're venting about something, the longevity of your brand hurts because of that. People start to come to you as a friend, as a shoulder to cry on. And if that's the type of community you're trying to create, I suppose that this approach could work. But I know the vast majority of you are building business entities that you desire to really contribute to people's lives. And you don't do that by leveraging empathy that is misguided, where we're just sitting in all of this hurt together, this complaining, gossiping. You do that by moving with compassion. Where empathy says, I see your pain and I'm in it with you. Compassion says, I see your pain and I care too much about you to leave you in this place. Let me help you. Let's do something to bring resolve here. When compassion drives your business, your heart isn't set on your vision board. You have a heart set on people. You have a heart set on bringing solutions. So this is where this conversation gets to become practical for your business. This might sound like a out there frou-frou concept, and it is one of the less tangible conversations that I have as a strategic-minded business owner who's in the trenches, in the weeds with my clients on a variety of things. But I find that too many business owners are missing this simple concept. The simple concept that if you care about people and you help them fix things that are troubling them, you will succeed beyond your wildest imagination. I was just talking to a client a few minutes ago before hitting record. She's come into a crazy situation with a partner in her industry who's just disorganized and all over the place, doesn't seem to care about his clients, doesn't have any sense of organization. And what I told her is that although this situation is frustrating, I want you to look at the bright side. The fact that you deeply care about your people to the point where you prioritize excellence, you put things in order, you have a process, you actually focus on client experience. The fact that you have that is going to make you successful. That is a differentiator in the marketplace where so many people are focused on their own growth, their own bank account, manifesting their desires. When you're so focused on all of that, it automatically drains your energy towards that, and it leaves less energy for serving the people, aka your customers. The other day, I was talking to my mom about how you're supposed to deadhead your roses. I'm not a gardener, but you deadhead your roses. I literally have one rose plant, okay? And you're supposed to deadhead the roses that have died. You cut them away because if you don't, although new roses will bloom, you'll have less of them and they won't flourish the way that they're meant to because the plant is still allocating energy towards all of the dead blooms. So the same is true with your business. If all of your energy, if 80% of your energy is being allocated towards yourself, your bank account, your money, your home, manifesting all of the desires of your heart, then you have less energy to allocate to your people and they suffer for it. Your brand name suffers for it. Your recurring book of business suffers for it. So although this sounds like a frou-frou concept, not the most strategic conversation because we're not talking about a funnel, this is a basic principle that every single business owner should have at the forefront of their mind when they are creating products and services, when they are marketing, when they are selling. If you don't have compassion, you cannot serve effectively. And if you can't serve effectively, then you cannot scale your business. So this actually is a strategic conversation. And it's something that so many people miss. If you'll just focus on your people a little bit more, if you'll just focus on excellence a little bit more, if you'll just care so much about alleviating pain, frustration that your buyer is dealing with, it creates a beautiful ripple effect of not only impact, but growth for your business, for your bank account, for your mission. When compassion drives your business, when you have a heart that is set on people, you do a few things automatically by default. First of all, you notice their distress. You notice because you are paying attention. You're not so fixated on what you can get. You're fixated on what you're here to give. And because of that, you are actively observing the market. You're actively listening to your buyers, to your clients. A simple way to do this is to keep the data from all of your application forms. Keep the data from all of your feedback forms from your clients. And if you don't have any of those in place, get those in place. You have to become a student of your people. And you have to be willing to remain a student of your buyer, of the marketplace as a whole. You have to get comfortable listening more and talking less. Selling is more listening than it is talking. And in fact, if you will listen more, you will be able to articulate so much more effectively. You will be able to sell using less words because they're the right words. Because you so deeply, so intimately know where your buyer is at. You understand your people because you're moving with compassion. You ask them questions. You listen to them. You take what they've shared with you and you try to resolve it. You try to create a product and a service that genuinely resolves that problem. And the crazy thing is that this is not rocket science, but this will set you apart in your industry. When people can say, oh yeah, Ashton, Amanda, Brittany, she cares about her clients. You're going to be really served when you work with her. That makes ears perk up because it is a rarity. It is sad, but true. It is a rarity that you work with people that genuinely care, that don't make you feel like a walking dollar sign. So I want you to consistently ask yourself, what is distressing your people? What's frustrating them? What pain points are they facing every single day? What are the ramifications of this in their life? Constantly think about that. Constantly ask those questions. Seek your people out. Ask questions, show up with curiosity, and listen. That's the bedrock of moving through compassion. The second thing you do is that you feel for your people. This is where empathy comes in. When you listen, you take notice, you start to acknowledge what they struggle with, what their pain points are, and you actually feel for them. You have empathy for them. And this is what makes it easier than ever for you to create products and services that bring true solutions. When you can actually feel the pain, the frustration that your people are experiencing every single day, you put yourself in their shoes, you create better products and services. Not only that, but it becomes even easier to market and sell to them because when you have felt what they've felt, man, you know how to articulate that powerfully with precision. You don't need a whole hour. You don't need half an hour. You don't even need 10 minutes. You just need 2. You become so precise, so articulate, not because you're the smartest person in the room, but because you have become the best listener. You love observing, you love noticing, you love watching. And from that place, you can understand, you can feel what they feel, and you can speak more effectively than ever before. You have empathy for them, but not the kind that stays in it with them. Not the kind that just affirms them, that's their cheerleader, that holds space for them, that vents and complains and gossips, but the kind that brings resolve. The kind that takes action to help them. That's the purpose of a business, which means, thirdly, you create valuable solutions that bring relief and resolve. Your product and service shouldn't just benefit your bank account. They should bring solutions for your people. They distribute value to the marketplace. They contribute to people's lives. They transform. They serve, they support. And when a business does this, scaling is inevitable. When you solve very real problems, growth is inevitable. Remember that money is a byproduct of value. So if you want your business to have steady and healthy cash flow, just bring more value. This is what compassion creates in your business. You notice distress, you feel for your people, and then you bring solutions to resolve that distress. It's as simple as that. Ultimately, deepen your care for your community. Serve deeper, listen more, solve higher value problems. And I can promise you, it will change the trajectory of your business forever.